Hello students, how are you all? Hope you all are fine in your homes. Once again, I want to welcome you all for this online class. Subject Computer Science, Chapter 6. We are learning Programming Fundamentals using QBasic, Part 1 and 2, Section 16. Why I said is Part 1 and 2, we are revising this lesson. We have already completed this lesson in the previous videos 1 and 2. So I'm revising this again for you all before we enter into question and answers. Okay students, I want everyone to pay attention as we go through this video. Last class we have studied about problem solving techniques, okay, and then planning and thinking we studied, and then guidelines for writing algorithm. These are the things that we have discussed in part 1 video. So I'm going to discuss the remaining things so that you'll have an idea completely about this chapter. We have 2 chapters left for this term, okay, chapter 6 and 7. So these 2 chapters are left for this term. That's why I'm revising this chapter again and again so that you'll be thorough completely both the chapters. Okay. In this class, these are the topics that we are going to discuss. We are going to discuss about flowchart, program writing, QBasic, constants, keywords, variables. So these are the topics that I'm going to discuss with you all in this video. The first topic we will see is flowchart. Okay, what is flowchart? Last class we were learning, students. I hope you all were watching the videos. I want all the students to please watch the videos, then only you will understand completely about the lesson what we are studying. So I hope you all have watched the video. What is a flowchart? A flowchart is a pictorial represents of the steps involved in solving a problem. Flowcharts are very useful to all of us in writing programs and also explaining the steps involved in solving our problems to each others. So, flowcharts are used to show the flow of a control in a computer program. Flowcharts used in different shapes to represent different types of actions in a progress. Okay, and there are some of the standard symbols we used in the flowcharts, and these are very important that we need to know before we go to flowcharts, before we draw a flowchart. Okay, these standard symbols are very important for us to understand. Okay, and we symbols they have given to us name of the symbol and purpose. For what purpose we use that symbol. If you see in the diagram clearly you will understand it. Okay, the first symbol is oval, and that represents for start and stop for your flowchart. Very important. Start. How to start a program? You have to start a flowchart with the symbol start, and you have to end the flowchart with the stop. It's very important. And second symbol is parallelogram. It represents input and output. And the third symbol is rectangle, and it represents processing. Fourth symbol is circle. It represents for connector. And fifth symbol is arrow lines. It indicates the flow of program. And sixth one diamond, decision making. And the last one hexagon. This is represents for looping. So these are the standard symbols that we need to know in the flow chart. Okay, and the next we go for rules. Okay, rules for creating a flow chart. We have a certain rules for when we create a flow chart. Okay, we should know these rules first before we do a flow chart. Okay, so flow charts should always begin with a start symbol, and it should end with a stop symbol. Okay, these two are very important when we start a flow chart. And second one, arrow heads should be used in all the flow lines to show the flow of control. And standard symbols should be used to donate different kinds of actions. And also the connector should be labeled properly. Okay, flow chart, you can see the example over there, the diagram. It will show you clearly how to draw a flow chart. Okay, you will get the understanding. So it should be, every label should be correct form. Okay, and you have to use start and stop for starting and stopping your flow chart. It's very important. I hope you all understood, students. When you pay attention, you will understand each and everything. Is it clear, students? Okay, thank you. Now, next we are going to study is rational operators. Some of the important things we need to know, okay, in this flow charts. These are the symbols, these are rational operators. Okay, it's very important for us to know. First one is greater than, greater than. Then second one, greater than or equal to, lesser than or equal to, not equal to. These symbols even we use it for a mathematical purpose. Okay, then observer, the paragraph symbol is used for input and output. Diamond symbol is used for decision making. In this example, the decisions are made using the condition of sales. If the sales is lesser than or equal to 5,000, then the output will be loss. Okay, if you output will be loss. Now, the next will be seeing is program writing. How we have to write a program, it should be very important. Program writing, the final step in problem solving is writing a program. The steps used in flowcharts are to be now converted into computer understandable form. A program is a collection of instructions written using a computer language, and a programmer is a person who writes computer program to solve a problem. Now we shall learn in detail about the high level language. What is our high level language, students? Can anyone tell me? Yes, our high level language is QBasic. Okay, so we will learn this in a each detail of this QBasic. Okay, QBasic. QBasic stands for Quick Beginners All-Purpose Symbolic Instructions Code. Okay, very important, students. QBasic stands for beginners. Okay, we are the beginners. You all are beginners for this QBasic and all-purpose symbolic instruction code. And it was developed by Microsoft Corporation in 1990. Okay, and it was developed to replace GW Basic. Okay, GW Basic, and it is a window based programming language. It is a high level language. So students, these things are very important for the beginners. Okay, the person who's learning new about QBasic. These things you should know first, and then we need to follow these features of QBasic. After you learn this, then we need to know the important features of QBasic. It is very simple. Okay, it is very simple. QBasic is very simple, quick and easy to understand for beginners. Okay, and manipulation of string is very easier, and it contains less number of statements, and its grammar is very simple. Okay, and QBasic is base for all other Microsoft programming languages like VB, okay, VBNet. Okay, these are the QBasic simple languages. Okay, QBasic runs on Windows operating system like Linux. Okay, it runs on operating systems and Linux. A certain set of statements that are used to write QBasic program are known as QBasic statements. Okay, so these are the features very important that we should know in QBasic. Okay, then we'll follow QBasic character set. What is QBasic character set? Okay, computer will accept only those characters. Computer will accept only these characters that are in the character set of QBasic. And these are the following table shown the valid character set. Okay, alphabet A to Z. Okay, capital letter A to Z and small letter A to Z. Altogether 52 words. And then digits 0 to 10. 0 to 9 or 0 to 10. And these are the special characters we have to know compulsory in QBasic character. Okay, arithmetic operators, rational operators, punctuation symbols, special symbols and blank symbols. Okay, these symbols, characters and symbols are very important in the QBasic. Students, please pay attention as we go through this QBasic character set. I hope you all are understanding what we are discussing in this video. Okay, constants. What do you mean by constants? This is our next topic, constants. Constants are those whose value does not change while executing a program. So constants we have two types of constants. One is numeric constants, second one is alphanumeric constants. Okay, numeric constants and alphanumeric constants or string constants. So under numeric constants, we have integer constants and real constants. Okay, but for alphanumeric constants, only string constants are divided. Okay, then okay, let us see the numeric constants. Numeric value, examples, numbers. Okay, numeric values means example, numbers. Types, integer constants. Numbers without any decimal value. Okay, numbers without any decimal value, whole numbers. And real constants, numbers with decimal value. Okay, integer constants without any decimal value. Real constants with decimal value. And it is fractional numbers. For integer, it is whole numbers, but for real, it is fractional numbers. For string constants, set of alphabets, special characters or numbers enclosed with quotation marks. For example, welcome. Okay, you need to use quotation marks for both the sides. Okay, next keywords. Okay, we are going to discuss is keywords. Keywords are reserved words. Okay, are a group of characters used for some specific purpose in a program. It is used to identify commands or part of commands. For example, rem, abs, and, if, let. These are some of the examples for our basic starting of a flowchart. Okay, so keywords are reserved words, are a group of characters used for some specific purpose in a program, and it is used to identify commands or a part of commands. Okay, as I told you, examples rem, abs, and, if, let. These are some of the simple programs to use for your flowchart. Okay, next, variables. Variable is a name which holds a data, value or constant in a program. Okay, the value in a program may change during execution when a value or a data assigned to a variable. It allocates the memory location. Whenever the variables are referred, the computer supplies the stored data for execution. And we have two types of variables. Okay, there are two kinds of variables that we need to know, very important. Okay, one is numeric variable, the other one is string variable. One is numeric variable, another is string variable, and these are types. But we have rules for naming a variable. We have some rules that we need to know. There are 6 rules that we need to know for variables. Okay, the first one is a variable should start with an alphabet. Very important. Every variable should start with an alphabet first, and it can have up to 40 characters. It can take up to 40 characters, and only one value can be stored in a variable. The only special character allowed in a variable name is a period. Keywords are reserved words, cannot be used as a variable names, and if it is a starting variable, then it should end with a S sign. Okay, it should end with a S sign, S symbol. Okay, so these are the rules. Students, please pay attention. I will repeat this again. A variable should start with an alphabet, and it can have up to 40 characters. Only one value can be stored in a variable. The only special characters allowed in a variable name is a period. And then keywords are reserved words, cannot be used as a variable names. And if it is a string variable, then it should end with S sign. Okay, and these are the two types, numeric variable and string variable. So you should keep this in mind. Next, we are moving on to numeric variables. It represents the value of a numeric constant. It represents the value of a numeric constant. It is a label for address in memory location which holds a numeric constant or value. Okay, like example X register number page. Okay, X register number page. These are the numeric variables examples. And string variable, it represents the value of a string constant, and it can store letters and numbers. It should end with a S sign. Okay, example student's name. Okay, it should end with a S sign. Example students names. Okay, very important. Then we are moving to exponential form. Okay, this is the last topic we are going to discuss in this chapter. Okay, exponential form. Under that we have two types. One is single position number and second one double position number. These are the subunits for this exponential form. What is the exponential form means? It is a decimal value having more than 8 digits are converted into exponential form of real constants. In computer programming, the exponential form is written in E notation. Okay, the exponential form is written in E notation. Okay, and then examples like 100.5 exponential form and 1.00. Okay, these are the codes that we see in the exponential form. In single position number can have numbers up to 8 decimal places, and a single position variable is suffixed by a symbol. Okay, it can have up to 8 decimal places, and it is suffixed by symbol. Example like 1 2 3 4 and 2 6 5 AB. Okay, this is only a single position, but in double position it displays the real constants. It displays the real constants with twice the position of a single position number, and it's suffixed by a symbol. Okay, and example, it is converted into double. Single is only a single number, but for double position it's converted into double numbers. So this is the example of a exponential form. Children, please go through your lesson again and again. We have completed chapter 6 here. Okay, part 1 and part 2 I have previously sent the videos. Now part 1 and 2 I revised this lesson. So we have done. Now I'll be sending the question and answers for you. Copy them in the notebook properly. Okay, I want everyone to copy them in your notebook. All the objective part, do it in the big book, and question answers and all, you have to do it only in the question answers and details. You have to do it in the notebook. I want everyone to do this work when I send the notes to you. Okay, students, we are going to end this class now. Thank you all for listening to this class. I'll see you all with a new chapter 7 in the next video. Till then, take care of yourself.